What's up, guys? In this tutorial I'm going to be showing you the intro and the basics into Adobe Premiere. So let's get right into it. First of all, you want to make sure that you download this folder that says Intro to Adobe Premiere, and inside you will see a list of a bunch of files that I have created for you, and from there we're going to be moving on. First of all, I just want to say that in Adobe Premiere, I know I tell you guys this for Photoshop and Illustrator and everything about organizing your folders. In Adobe Premiere, it's a must. Your folders need to be organized. When you start up Adobe Premiere for the very first time, it asks you the very first thing, where are you going to save me? Like, I need a place to stay, bro. You know what I'm saying? So it's always very important for you to have those folders already created, your files already placed where they're going to be at, because otherwise you can get into a very disorganized situation, and before you know it, your entire project is gone, lost, who knows where. So as you can see here, I have files used, finished, and working files. First thing I'm going to do is go ahead and open up Adobe Premiere. Go ahead and quit it and open up again. There you go. So there it is, opening up. And now one of the things here is that you're going to get a pop-up. It should look like this that you see right here. And right here it's already asking you, hey, are you creating a new project or are you opening a new project? So if you're opening a new project, you're going to see things like the way it says right here, video game mask, tutorial announcements, video announcements, so on and so forth. And if you create a new project, the moment you do that, it prompts you to another window. And if you actually read through this window, the first thing it's telling you is a name. Hey, give me a name. Don't leave me as untitled. Please do not leave me as untitled. That's what it's telling you. Premiere says that. So we're going to go ahead and switch this into Intro to Adobe Premiere. That's going to be the name of the project. That way we know what it's called. And then it says location. Please save me somewhere safe. Do not put me somewhere that you're going to lose me. So you have to click Browse. We head over to Browse, and then I'm going to head over to Documents, Schoolwork. I have it under Tiger Vision, Intro to Adobe Premiere. Sorry. And then working files. From working files, I'm going to choose. And so now you see here Documents, Schoolwork, Harmony, Intro, so on and so forth. And I'll click OK. And up comes Adobe Premiere. Now, to some of you that have worked with Adobe After Effects, this may not seem as weird as, it might not look that complicated. To some of you that have never seen After Effects, and this is your first time seeing Adobe Premiere for the first time, you're kind of thinking to yourself, this looks nothing like Photoshop. This is very different, very weird. I'm probably not going to understand this. Don't worry about it. It's not that hard. It's actually very simple. So let's go over the things that we have here first before we actually start and diving into everything else. So first off, we have these little guys that are up here. Assembly, editing, color effects, audio, titles, library, dual monitors, and so on and so forth. Actually, dual monitors is my own personal one, and I'll get into it later. So, first thing is editing. Editing is the way you see it here, and it should look a little bit like this. So, it has a window right here that says Source, and another window that says Program, and then you should have Projects, and then Timeline. And one of the things about it is that all these windows can be moved around, resized, played around with, and so on and so forth. The reason why all this is possible is because you can organize Adobe Premiere to however it is that you feel comfortable. Now, a lot of the things, what ends up happening is that some of the tools, something gets lost, and students will always ask, sir, this disappeared, how do I get it back? You can always go to Window, Workspace, and reset it. And that's going to put it back to the original way that it looked before anything was changed. but you can change everything if you so wanted to. So this window right here is your source monitor. And I'll explain once we have videos. This is your program monitor. This is your project window. And then this is your timeline. Then we have color, which organizes everything a little bit different. We have effects, audio, titles, and library. And all of this works differently so that it rearranges the windows to fit a specific style, whatever it is you're planning to do at that given moment. So for this very first thing, what we're going to do is go ahead and import some videos. So you're going to double click, and I'm going to go over into our files used, and I'm just going to import some files. Right now I think it's only importing one because I double clicked too quickly, but oh, actually I imported the entire folder. So if you double click, you can select you can select the files used and import the entire folder, or you can just double click in here and using control select the files that you actually want. Since all the files are already here, then I'll go ahead and work with that. I'm gonna go inside the folder and put this guy in here, and here we go. So this is all our videos. And so from here you have two options. Right here in the bottom you can see list view, which will put it in a list, and then you can see icon view, which would put it in an icon. When you double click a specific video, it opens up in your source monitor. Now the source monitor, what this does is it allows you to see the video and preview it. So right here, as you can see, I'm previewing the video, and that way you can kind of decide, no, this one doesn't work, I want to go with like maybe a different video, like maybe there was one that I kind of like maybe this one. Alright, so this video looks pretty good, and so what I want to do is I want to go ahead and drag this video into my timeline. Now, before we get started, again, first we got to learn the basics of what we're doing. When you drag a specific video into the timeline, what that's going to do is create a sequence. That sequence is going to have a bunch of little data files that you need to know that are important. One being, is your video recorded at 30 frames per second or 60 frames per second? Is your video recorded at 1080p or is it recorded at 720? Is your video recorded at UHD or just regular HD? What type of file is it and all that? That's so much stuff that if you don't know a lot about video, it can get very complicated. So one of the cool things about Adobe Premiere is that when you drag the video over, it gets all those settings from your original video. So it's always important that you always start off with a video you've recorded and not some picture you took from the internet. So from here, what we're going to do is drag the video over. Now there's a couple of methods to drag it over. There's actually 3 from this monitor, and I'm going to get into all 3 of them so you can see the difference. One is by clicking on the actual video. You can bring it down here and you put in the video. Now we have a specific timeline and we have our program video monitor. Our program monitor is going to show us whatever's in our timeline. So whatever you see here will show up here. Whatever you're previewing here shows up here. A good way to see 2 things at once. From here, you notice that we imported video, which is V1, and audio, which is A1. And you notice in this source monitor that we also have here drag video only or drag audio. So if you were to click here and drag over, you can drag only the audio, the video. And then if you were to come here, you can actually drag this one over, which is only the audio. So you have the option of bringing only audio or bringing only video or bringing both at the same time. Now if you bring both of them at the same time, they are linked up together. If you ever want to unlink them, you can right click and put unlink. And that's going to separate them into 2 separate things so you can move them around. Now that's a lot of information, but it's important to know information because what we're going to be doing today is getting 3 videos from what you see here, placing them over here, and just exporting. So let's go ahead and drag. Maybe I'm going to go ahead and put this one here. I'm not even going to worry about resizing the videos or actually, yes, let's go ahead and resize them, right? So we have the options here. As we're moving through here, let me go ahead and mute this. As we're moving through here, you can select a start and an end point. So I want to select not this part, but right around here. So right around there, you can use these little guys that say mark in and mark out. I'm going to go ahead and put mark in. That's going to make it start at that given location. And right around here, I'll go ahead and put mark out. I'm going to delete this right here. Now that I have that mark in and mark out, I can go ahead and drag the video over, and I have my video that I want, just that specific one. Then I'm going to go ahead and go over to maybe say like this video. Play it. Let's go to this one right here. Yeah, this one's pretty good. Let's go with this one here. Alright, sorry about that, guys. There was some technical difficulties, but anyways, now that I have this one, I'm just going to go ahead and grab another video here and just go ahead and choose an in and out point. So I kind of like right around here, so I'll go ahead and start it there. And it right around there. And then I'll go ahead and bring only the video part here. Actually, no, let's go ahead and bring both. And there we go. So now we have this. Which is good for now. All we really want to learn right now is how can we grab video and bring it over to one side, you know? So from here, what we're going to go ahead and do is say we're done with this project. Alright, we're done. We're ready to go. What do we do next? So the next thing is to go to File. We go to Export. And we export media. From here, we got to just make sure that these things are set to 6 and 9. And we click on our blue layer here. And go to your finished work. And just go ahead and title it Intro to Adobe Premiere. And we save, and then we export. And that's going to export the entire video that we just did. So that's all I have for today's tutorial. I hope you guys enjoyed this and you're intrigued and interested to learning a whole new software. It's only going to get better from here, believe me. But it's going to be a lot of your creativity and your stories and how you tell them. Next, we're going to be learning on how to add transitions and how to add audio to the back. So stay tuned for the next one. As always, have a good one, and I'll see you next time. Peace out.